Yeah, I'm your boy Joell Ortiz. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, it's funny, man. My mom's is Puerto Rican, but I was coming up to Al Green, Marvin Gaye, you know, that early soul era. That's what she used to play when she used to have company come over, play spades and stuff like that. So when I was running out in the middle of the living room saying I had to use the bathroom, she was sending me back in the room. That's what was being played. Well, more impactful was probably the first time I ever stepped to a Cypher. I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and I just seen a group of kids standing around and girls surrounding them with oohs and ahs and stuff like that. I'm like, what's going on over there? And I heard dudes rhyming or whatever, and I ran upstairs and I tried to put together my little couple bars, and I came down, and it was an ill experience because I seen how warm the hip hop community is. They wasn't like, yo, get out of here, show. They was like, oh, you rhyme, guy? Let me hear you. And I spit my first rhyme. That was one of my illest experiences. I guess it was the first time I went into the booth. I was about 16. And the first time I went in the booth and came out and heard pretty much what I sounded like on the block over a beat. And because so many people don't know how much of a transition that is to go from the street corner to the booth. It's a whole different world. So when I listened back, I was like, yo, man, I sound really good. And people that were in the session after me were like, yo, man, that's dope, man. And I guess the first time I heard my vocals over a track is when I realized this might be something I want to be looking into. My manager, one of my managers today, Dennis Wynn, was a dude that discovered me and brought me to the studio. The first studio I worked in was Hydra Studio in Queens with my dude Jerry Familari. That was his studio. And Screwball was being worked on at that time inside that studio. And Mike Herod, who's my other manager, was working there, controlling that project and stuff like that. And he had heard me for the first time, and that's how I got hooked up with Mike and Dennis and stuff. So that was one of my first experiences. I don't really know of too many neighborhood legends well, around my way actually there was a group called Mental, and they were just like I guess too ahead of their time. Like something like they were flying over people's head. They were like similar to the Wu, but like more scientific with it. And I thought that they should have had their fair shot. But outside of that, I don't know too many dudes who should have made it that didn't. I could sit here and go on with the list for that. Like I'm a student of the early '90s, man. That's the golden age. So my headphones had MOP tapes in it. It had Smith & Wesson, The Shining. It had Mobb Deep, and Cannabis. I listened to every Wu-Tang. I listened to a vast amount of hip hop. I was just a fan of the culture, heavy duty. I guess my performances were one of my stronger points, being that I take pride in my shows. I think that the shows are a lost art in hip hop. Like a lot of these kids with these one-hit wonder singles and stuff like that, they ain't going out there and getting on that grind and getting in front of the people, sweating and giving it up. So my shows were one of the earlier things. Aside from that, just the presence on the internet, like being one of the first kids, to write a journal on Hip Hop Game and kind of give the kids a one-on-one with who I am as a person besides the artist. Raucous was just a single deal. That was in, I believe, '99. I had a single deal with a joint called Brooklyn and Philly Niggas. That was me and Pretty Ugly. Shouts to Pretty Ugly. And on the other side, I had a joint called Real Recognize. That was just a one-off 12-inch deal. Let's rock and roll like that. The Aftermath situation was totally different because that came out of left field. Like, I don't know, my CD just ended up on Dre's desk, and he just flew me out and really believed in the music and signed me. But due to conflicting release date issues, I asked for a release, you know what I'm saying? And that didn't work out, but that wasn't a sour breakup. I still got a chance to write on a Detox album and get a chance to work with Dr. Dre, so that was a blessing. And as far as E1, formerly known as Koch, I put my first album out in 2007, The Brick, Bodega Chronicles, and now I'll be releasing my new album November 9th, Free Agent, with E1 as well.